In a world where there are too many comic books to keep up with, one podcast has the stones to bring you all of your comic book needs. Week by week, book by book. One epic show. You are now tuned in to Nerd Church Radio.
Hello and welcome to NCR episode number
32?
32, I guess? Yeah, 32. I'm your host, Ben Dupé.
I'm Bradley Butane.
I'm Travis Roseberry.
And we are your comic book overlords. How's everyone doing today?
Doing well.
Doing real
well.
good. This weather is beautiful here in Des Moines.
Yeah.
Nice and 70-something. I'm shocked. It's been raining here for, 2 solid weeks? And I haven't seen that giant ball of yellow fire in the sky for that long.
I know, man. It's
I am
nuts.
recharging my Kryptonian cells as we speak.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
I did almost cry on my way here.
Did you?
I did because I saw somebody mowing.
Oh!
I'm like, no, I am not ready to mow my lawn yet.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? So we sort of have a new format for the show, and we have kind of a bit of information to cover on this show. Because in addition to the books, we're gonna start doing some other segments and stuff. So I wrote out just a little bit of a different format, not much of a different one though. So first off, I do want to let people know we are a certain type of podcast here. What type of podcast are we?
A really good one.
Yes, and what else?
Spoiler!
We are a spoiler podcast, meaning we are going to be spoiling all of the plot beats, character developments, everything else that happened in the DC comic books.
All the juicy info.
Yep, and for listeners out there that are new to the podcast, we are a DC comic recap and review podcast, meaning that we read all the DC comics and we tell you what happened in them and tell you what we thought about the books.
Not rest and relaxation.
Yep, not R&R. Wait.
But that is R&R.
What?
Yeah,
okay.
right?
Where did you get R&R from?
Recap and review?
Oh, R&R. Recap. I was like, I'm trying to make the connection here, but I almost got it. Yeah. All right. So, anyway, we are going to cover some news first off. A little bit of news. So, Stephen Amell, and this is sort of related to DC Comics, but he will appear on American Ninja Warrior's first ever Celebrity Edition during a special episode to air at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, May 25th.
Really? Right. Awesome.
Yeah,
I love American Ninja Warrior.
Me too.
Amazing.
I would love to build a course in my backyard.
Oh,
I want to so bad. Maybe you can help me with that.
Yeah, maybe I was telling my wife that we should put one of the, I think they call it half pipe, the vertical wall.
Right,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we do that. It'd save us so much time getting up to the second floor. She's like, yeah, okay, shut up.
Yeah, I know, right? Shot that down quick.
Yeah.
So, it's a show that my wife watches when I'm at work at night, and I want to get into watching.
It's awesome.
I've heard it's really cool.
And people have been on them for years now. To get into American Ninja Warrior.
You know, I know it sounds kind of weird, but there's a gal on there. Her name is Katie Catanzaro.
Casey,
thank you.
Catanzaro.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's this little tiny spitfire that can do anything.
Well, Jesse Graff too. Jesse Graff is.
Yeah.
I mean, she runs a course in a Wonder Woman outfit.
That's right. Yeah,
very cool.
Okay,
that's awesome.
And a duck.
Stephen Amell, don't run the course in a Wonder Woman outfit, please.
Yeah, that might be awkward or weird. I don't know. It'd be cool if you did an Arrow costume.
That would be awesome.
I dig that. So, if you haven't been reading Supergirl, but you're interested in the overarching story of Rebirth as a whole, you should definitely start reading Supergirl, because it sounds kind of like Supergirl is going to be meeting up with the Emerald Empress next week in the new Family of Tomorrow story arc.
So,
yeah.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I have been semi-following Supergirl. I don't think I've been hitting it every week, but the girls love Supergirl, so I always know. I don't know. I'm sure I'm out of order. But it seems like the Supergirl
Supergirl being super
is a different Supergirl.
That's a separate thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I'm like, this is like the 16-year-old, Supergirl, and then I read the annual, and it was not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
totally separate
Supergirl being super is a different timeline kind of thing, or what do we?
I don't know about that. I actually don't know. I haven't read it, but I know it's a different like story arc.
Gotcha.
But is it the same Supergirl?
I believe so. Yeah. Again, I don't know for sure.
Okay, so listeners, let me know.
Yeah,
please,
let us know.
Please,
Email us.
I am confused. It's not hard to do. I'm easily confused.
Same here.
So
email us nerdchurchradio@gmail.com. Let us know if you guys know the scoop on that.
Or tweet us.
Yeah, or tweet at us. Yeah. So the next piece of news I have in the next issue of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, Travis. We start a new story arc called Prism of Time. And that's all I got, man. It's a new story arc. It sounds like the Green Lanterns and the Sinestro Corps are going to be teaming up. And have to work together. So
rev up that DeLorean.
Yeah. More of that, because we've been kind of dealing with that throughout all of Hal Jordan and the GLC.
Yeah,
I'm really liking the time travel that's kind of around right now a little bit.
Dude, I am such a big freak when it comes to time travel stuff. It just pulls me in every single time.
Yeah.
It's like I love it. Yes, more.
What was that show that time was it Timeless or something like that? Where they had it was a new show this last year, and it had the guy that was the voice for Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. He was in it, and then I can't remember who it was.
I think it was. I think you're right.
And it was a guilty,
guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. Yeah, I like that show.
That's cool. Yeah, so definitely pick up Hal Jordan in the GLC. That's been something that like I've been on, and I've been on and off, but when I'm on it, I'm really enjoying it, and I always keep up with it. So it sounds like in the upcoming Red Hood and the Outlaw story, we're going to be looking a little more closely at Artemis and how the bow of Ra was used to kill a bunch of people.
Nice.
Yeah, which Noah's excited about that one, and
it's so
Artemis.
great how they take like almost 2 or 3 issues to explore each of the 3 characters in that.
And not in a row, and they're cycling through each. Yeah,
all the Outlaws. So that's cool. I'm on it. So
that's one of my favorite team ups.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
they're so good.
Yeah, it's a real Cinderella story for me. They come out of nowhere. Like
right.
I knew all the characters, but I was like, I'm not gonna like this line.
Yeah.
Now I've got all of them, and I'm like, this is just amazing.
I
want more.
I think this is probably one of my favorite Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and everybody hated.
Agree,
when they came up with Jason Todd and then they killed him, everybody hated him. I kind of like him. I
do too.
Don't climb over this table here, Brad. But I kind of like him better than I like Nightwing right now.
Right now, yes.
Right now,
publication-wise, I think he has better stories.
Yeah. Okay, I will. I actually have to agree. That
I haven't seen him fight a killer well.
The Red Hood and the Outlaws books, at least recently, has been better than Nightwing.
Yeah, definitely.
And that stays true with this week too.
Yeah. And last piece of news I have on DC Comics, quote, the New World, unquote, begins in next week's Action Comics, which is a new story arc. Is the New World?
What's the New World
all
about?
New world? Is it a whole new world?
In a world where, as Superman is forced to examine his past, the birth of John, the marriage of Lois and Clark, their lives at the Daily Planet, in hopes of discovering who wants to destroy it.
Man, yeah. So like, I read that too, and I'm like, in the last issue of Superman. That they were pretty much saying like that this Superman is not supposed to be there or something and is different. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off.
You're not talking something that hasn't come out yet, right?
No.
Okay, good. Okay,
I'm not. I haven't read ahead.
Okay, cool. No, I wasn't sure. Yeah, because I know it's hard. It's hard for me.
No,
I really want to.
What did I read? It was something this week.
Piece of news or something.
No. It was a book, and at the end of the book, it was they were talking about somebody was talking about how you're out of place, and we have to fix that.
That's cool.
Was it? Maybe it was Justice League.
Yeah, maybe
Justice League
or Superman 20.
Might remember as we go.
I think it was. Superman
I think you might be
20.
thinking. Yeah, whoa.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'll discuss
I'll
it.
cover that later.
Cool. A little bit of other news. Marvel has confirmed that The Punisher will be released in 2017. Ben Barnes, who has been in Narnia and Westworld, will play Billy Russo in that. Which I don't know that actress at all. But yeah, this is just a little bit of all-around nerd news. So last thing, 9 people will be inducted into the Disney Legends Hall of Fame. This list includes Stan Lee, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill.
Cool. Nice.
The Disney Legends Award, established in 2009 at the inaugural D23 Expo, growing to include 276 people at this year's inductees. Each of the Disney Legends are honored with a bronze commemorative plaque that will be on display in the Legends Plaza at Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Each inductee will also receive a rare Disney Golden Pass, giving them lifetime access to all Disney theme parks. Man, I want on that.
Yeah. How do we get there?
Yeah, let's get there. Yeah, maybe. I wonder if they'd let podcast hosts of the year or something. Like, I don't know, something like that. I would
spoiler alert! I put your name up for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, one more last thing.
Yep.
Just in case anybody didn't know, the new Star Wars: The Last Jedi comes out in 250 days.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Keeping that countdown going. I
Absolutely.
like it.
So I read something a little earlier, and this is just, I don't know if it's been confirmed or anything like that, but I thought it was a cool thing to think about. They were talking about the Batman movie.
Yep.
Deathstroke might be in it.
Oh, have you seen the test footage of Deathstroke?
Yeah. But did you read the thing that came out today about the guy who's going to play, or who they think?
Joe Manganiello?
Yeah, they cast him.
Yeah, he's on it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I think that'll be amazing.
Yeah, he'll do it good. He'll
Actually,
do a good job,
to bring that news or gossip rumors a little further, Ariel, the Oracle, my wife, told me today that...
Do you have to call her Ariel the Oracle? Like
she does. She makes me. Yep. So she told me today that a rumor she read online, in 2019 this is a rumor again, but there will be 4 Batman-related movies released. So Gotham City Sirens, Nightwing, Batgirl, and a Batman solo film, all in the year 2019. Again,
all in the year 2019?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
I'm down with it, but
you have to have one every season. That'd be neat.
That would be very neat. I'd totally be up for it, man. I love Batman.
And honestly, I think it's smart for DC.
Oh yeah, DC sell a mega pass or something like that through the movie theaters, like the Bat Pass.
Gosh.
Yeah,
right
for all 4 movies. Yeah.
Did you guys see the Star Wars car that they made?
No.
Nissan Rogue. And
the Rogue One?
Yeah, they released
really?
They released a Nissan Rogue when Rogue One came out, and it's a car that has like the cup holders have Star Wars plaques in the bottom of them, and
awesome.
like it has like a lit license plate and stuff. They didn't sell very many.
No, they didn't, because it was like 10,000 more than the other one, and I know.
And you could pay like $1,200 and get all the stuff that came with it. And
you walk up to the guy selling the car and go, "This is not the MSRP I'm looking for."
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, right.
Sorry.
This is not the figure.
Yeah.
So that's all we got for news. So with that being said, let's move things on to this week's book reviews.
What's up first, Ben?
Yep, I got Batman number 20. Batman! Because I'm Batman. So in the conclusion to Batman, I Am Bane, we finally get to see Bats and Bane face off for the last time. Bane is beating the holy living hell out of Batman, and just as he's about to win, Batman headbutts Bane for the victory, and the crowd goes wild. And those were the main events of this issue, really.
Yeah.
But they were actually framed up by a nice narrative device of
cool.
Bruce's mother talking to him, telling him about how he did all of this, saved Gotham Girl, almost died saving the plane from crashing above Gotham because he was throwing himself at death to save the city. More of the I am suicide type stuff.
Sure.
The issue ends with a kind of a noir page of Bruce's mom talking to him, and Bruce telling her that he didn't do all those things to sacrifice himself or because he's suicide. He did it just because it was the right thing to do. And that's it. That's all it's ever been about, is just doing the right thing. And Martha tells Bruce that she's proud of him. End of story arc. So yeah.
I was a little confused by this. Can somebody shed a light on it? Because it was kind of neat how it tied all the way back to the beginning of Rebirth with him riding the plane in, then meeting Gotham and Gotham Girl, and the fact that what crazy man would ride a plane that's on fire into into the bay. But I was just kind of lost. I'm like, why did we have to tie all that together?
Because everything's linked. It's all been like the events that have unfolded where a plane was about to crash over Gotham. Batman saved it, but the only way he could save it was to kill himself, basically, to be on top and to steer the plane away. And
but he didn't.
He
say
thought
the
he was
plane
going to
Gotham
die.
did.
Gotham Girl and Gotham showed up. He met them. He's like, this is a bright light. They could save the city. Two young kids that want to save the city. Gotham Man or Gotham died. He turned evil and died. Gotham Girl got sick. The Psycho Pirate made her sick. Then Bane stole the Psycho Pirate. So then Batman, it was the whole like I am Suicide thing going to get the Psycho Pirate from Bane, and now we're in the I am Bane story arc. So it all ties back to that first. So he's trying to kind of tie all this up into one neat package.
One big
Before the button.
Yeah, right before the buttons.
I mean, it was really cool, but I mean, you had to follow everything since story one for this to sync up. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but did it feel like the very end it was kind of abruptly ended? Like just one hit from the head and
there was a lot of like sort of this week in general. I thought they tied a lot of things up really quickly. Like they're it's like we're moving on from the story arcs that all the different writers wanted to tell and moving back into a new rebirth phase where we've got the button coming up. We've got Superman who's going to be tying into the overarching rebirth story. Sure. So it feels like, a lot of the writers maybe were pressured to like, okay, tie up your stories at this issue and we're going to take things from here and,
we're calling it DC.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
But yeah, it did feel a little rushed to me. And I felt that way about Green Arrow too, a little bit. So
totally right.
It was a decent issue. I thought I really enjoyed the face off with Bane. The framing device was pretty decent, albeit a tiny bit played out. Why did you say that name, Martha? I don't know. I feel like anytime you can like avoid that maybe and go into a different direction with Batman, you maybe should, but whatever. The artwork.
That is some fan work for the fans of Batman v Superman.
Yeah, that's small demographic. No, I'm just kidding. I like that movie.
So did I.
So the artwork, fantastic though.
Yeah.
Seriously, the artwork was like one of my favorite parts.
Man,
about
that
this book,
headbutt with I am Bat. Oh man, that was so good.
It does feel like Bane wouldn't go down that quickly.
Yeah. But even the square off, and now I'm thinking about it towards the end. He had to go through Arkham Asylum for, was it 24 or 48 hours fighting his way through to get to Batman? So
something like that, yeah.
I get it. He's drained. He's at the end. No more Venom left or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it was really awesome. I love the artwork. It was great.
Yeah. It's just, I felt it was a very iconic issue.
Yes.
So, that being said, we do have a rating system here. I'm going to play our rating system so you know what I'm talking about.
If a comic book is bad, we rate it as blasphemy. If the book is good, we give our blessing. If the book is not bad, not good, but just kind of meh, we rate it as stuck in purgatory. If the book is great, we rate it as holy. And if a comic book exceeds all standards of awesomeness, we rate that book as salvation.
All right, and that being said, I give this one a solid holy. I think if you're a trade waiter, someone who just wants to wait for the trades to come out to read the books and read reviews on them and make sure you're buying something good, definitely scoop this story arc up when it comes out. I think like the volume one is out right now. I think the volume 2 is probably forthcoming. And, but definitely, I don't know. What do you guys think about that rating?
Agreed. I agree.
Yeah. I think it was great. Yeah. So. Awesome. All right. Well, that being said, why don't we move things along to the polar opposite of Batman? Well, not the Joker, but the other opposite of Batman.
The lighter side?
The lighter side of... There we go.
There we go.
I like that.
Gotta shine the light in here, man. All right. Superman number 20. Black Dawn number 1 by Tomasi, Gleason, Gray, and Calise. In Hamilton County, the Kents are celebrating their new lives as a cohesive storyline. Jonathan tries to check out his new powers and everything, where he's trying to fly, but he just can't do it yet. Maybe he hasn't absorbed enough solar radiation or something. Batman and Robin show up in the barn, and Superman confronts him, says, "Hey, what are you doing out here in my barn, man?" Says, "Oh, we're here to check out your son. Something's wrong with him." Like, wait,
I'm Batman, Martha.
Yep, exactly. Why'd you say that name? No. So lo and behold, Lois shows up outside the barn because she sees that John is peeking in or listening in to the whole thing. she grabs him by the ear and drags him all inside and makes him eat pie and talk about why Batman's there.
That was great.
Yes, I loved
like
it.
the
Yeah.
come inside. Yeah, that was awesome.
The wholesome shine our light into the darkness situation. It was great.
In their
I loved it.
uniforms.
Yes, in the uniforms. Don't you spill any cake on the Batcape.
Why were they in uniforms to begin with?
I don't know. You'd think
Comics.
yeah. But it was awesome.
'cause,
Somebody
like-
wanted to draw a wholesome picture of everybody sitting around a table in costume.
Yeah.
And that they accomplished that.
I see what you
They
did,
accomplished-
Tomasi.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, good work. Yeah.
So, after that happened, Batman says, I think something is happening with John. He should be super powerful right now, and he's not. What's going on?
More powerful than Superman.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, what do you feed him? They're like, junk food. He's like, no, that's regular food. And he's sitting there guzzling down some milk from the neighborhood farm, right?
Yep.
I think it's called Cobb Farm. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Batman says, well, I'm going to go check out this dairy farm, see? And he heads off, but Superman thinks that he's headed back to his own city of Gotham. But in fact, he actually goes checks out Cobb Farms, dairy farms.
Cobb's Dairy.
So he gets inside the barn and sees this demonic cow. Actually, the cow's just normal, but he milks it, which is kind of weird. Why does Batman milk the cow? But, whatever.
So we could have like I saw Batman milk a cow.
Do you think he was going, no, milk time? So he fills up.
Hello,
with
Bessie.
Yes, hello, Bessie.
I'm going to milk you now.
So he pulls his.
Bessie's just looking at him like, what is that in the darkness?
Yes, exactly. It's not time for this. No. So he pulls his sample of the demonic milk, which changes into this black, like ink amorphous blob stuff, and attacks him, and it like spreads all over him and kind of goes into a cocoon. Meanwhile, Mr. Cobb comes out in the shadowy darkness and is like, no, we got another one here to try to milk Bessie in the middle of the night. This one just looks like a bat. So
All those
might as well add him with the rest of them.
all those mysterious men just showing up to milk my cow in
Yeah,
the middle
what's
of the
up
night.
with
Like,
There's a lot of giggles in this episode.
Yeah, I
issue,
guess, yeah.
No, it was great. I liked it. And for the record, I called it. I said that Cobb was the bad guy.
Yep.
He was the shadowy figure from, 4 issues ago before
Oh, probably more than that.
yeah, well, no, the one that was like, remember when there was someone standing outside of Kent Farms
Yeah,
and
in the
in the
shadow
darkness,
farms.
you could
Yeah.
just see them standing out there. I thought it was Mixie,
Yeah.
but at that time, Mixie didn't know where Kent lived.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, true.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was right. Can you hear my ego swelling
Yes,
right now?
yes, I can.
You're going to have to open that door a little bit
Hey,
further.
I can
My
feel
head
some
won't fit the-
vibration.
Maybe you should milk some Bessie.
Oh, that's what I got to do.
That's what you got to do.
No, but we find out that the Dark Stranger is the Grandpa Cobb. Next issue, we are going to find out what's happening. So I'm going to rate this one right away. I call it holy. I liked it. I really did.
That's awesome.
It was the nice Superman that I kind of grew up with, you
Yeah.
know, and it's kind of an out there story. We get Batman, we get the whole family. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Tomasi, way to go. Gleason, awesome art.
Yeah.
Everybody involved on this issue, great job. I love
I
it.
agree.
The dinner table was my favorite because Batman and Superman was no eye contact with each
Yep.
other, and they both didn't had half frowns on there. And
Yep.
was-
Watching each other out the corner of their
Right,
eye.
right. And
Yeah.
Batman's like, I don't want to be here, but I want a piece of pie.
Yeah,
You know? and,
Um,
Superman's like, I don't want him here, but this pie's really good.
I
Go milk Bessie.
We kind of got like a very similar feeling from Trinity #1, where like they
Yeah.
were all sitting
Only in
around
plain
the table.
clothes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the major characters.
It'll
sitting
be
around.
interesting to see what they do with Batman-Superman relation as time goes forward. So
I
I'm
like-
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean,
because
this-
there's kind of like a level of distrust, but at the same time, you can tell that they're kind of like building up to this. Oh, you're my buddy again. You know, kind of thing.
Snyder and Capullo are teaming up on Batman and Superman, and it looks like they're actually going to be drawing some characters that, like, if you've ever thought, oh man, I'd really love to see Greg Capullo draw that character, but you haven't, like Aquaman, or I mean, you're gonna see Capullo draw some characters that you haven't seen him draw before.
Huh.
So yeah,
He's drawn the Justice League.
Yeah.
has he?
Yeah, in Batman, I think it's called It's not Nightfall.
Yeah, Nightfall's old.
No, yeah, it's Godfall.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
he Batman takes on the Justice League because they're In-game. That's what it is.
Okay.
I'm sorry, In-game.
Oh shit! Endgame is like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Holy man.
Yeah.
Oh.
In-game.
Just-
Yeah, exactly.
so
You know,
good.
I haven't read it.
But he takes.
Oh, dude.
take your
I'll
time,
lend you all
go.
the back issues
Okay.
because I have them all.
I'll read it right away.
Got to be gentle.
So
with
sorry,
them, though.
tangent there. Holy, what do you guys think about Superman 20?
Holy.
There we go.
So, quick question for you, Travis.
Yeah.
So, do you think that the pre-Superman Batman relationship is almost like a polar opposite than the one that is happening now?
The pre-Batman.
Yeah, what do you mean by
Superman
that?
So,
yeah.
like before, like Superman did kind of run everything, and
So
now,
you're saying like New 52 Superman
I'm
died.
talking about pre-New 52.
So yeah, like now this old Superman is back.
Right. So
Yeah.
like, and before, like Superman was kind of the unofficial leader of the Justice League. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody looked for him for leadership, and,
Yeah.
and
Which,
now it's
why-
everybody's looking for leadership through Batman.
Right.
So I mean, do you think that the roles have kind of switched there, or
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I think that even before pre-52, Batman and Superman got along, but there was always a vibe where Batman was like, I work alone. I'm not going to be with anybody. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And
What you
Superman
doing,
was
Travis?
kind of like...
What you doing, Travis?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
No, what are you doing?
I'm working. No. But Superman was always just kind of like, I've got it. I'm Superman. Come on.
Right.
Jeez, I don't need any help. And
Yes.
then when they had to work together, then there was always like a build-up issue of like, hey, let's work together. Okay, fine, we'll work together. And then it's like, oh, I see the good parts of you. I've seen, the bad things that you do, and I can form a working relationship with you. So then they get together, and then their powers unite. They become super friends. But
Cool.
no, I like this one. This one
So do
kind
I.
of harkens to that, but like you said, they flipped the role. What was Superman is now Batman, and Batman is the I work alone. Superman's kind of adopting that, but
Yeah.
because he has a family.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm just saying, if there was a leader of the Justice League that wasn't Superman, I think Aquaman should be up there for the running. He's the only king in the Justice League who is the king of an entire nation. I don't know. What do you guys think?
no?
That reasoning.
I think.
He's the king of an entire nation.
I
Which
think,
is the exact
I think
reason
the
why he
Flash.
shouldn't.
Oh,
Just
come
because he
on.
could get
Yeah.
the meetings over really quick.
You want
Okay. Sorry.
Oh,
Ben's like, I get out of my house.
like, do you want to kill us all, Travis? Jeez, Barry Allen's gonna mess
run back in
everything
time.
up. Yeah.
I don't know. I do see your reasoning, but
You've got
no,
Diana.
I still don't think so. I don't.
It
think
can't just be
Aquaman
because,
is-
like, I don't think Aquaman's cool enough. Because,
No,
like, we're
it's-
talking about who's the leader of the
No,
Justice
well,
League.
yeah. Here's my reasoning why. Because he is a king of a nation that he can't put the time in to run that because he already has a nation that is relying on him.
That's true. All right, well, that's enough of that. Let's move.
Actually, I got
things
one
up.
more Superman question.
Yeah.
So, okay, bullets bounce off Superman,
Yep.
but why does he duck when they throw the gun at him?
I've never
I don't
seen
know.
him do that.
I've never.
Really?
Yeah. No.
The Christopher Reeve, all that.
No,
I don't know.
Never seen
Okay,
it.
you need a YouTube Superman ducking from the guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes him
50s
feel
bad
better.
TV. All right, cool. So why don't we talk some Green Lanterns, Brad?
Green Lantern.
All right, name of the book is Green Lanterns number 20, Polarity, Part 2, Drowning, written by Sam Humphries, and the art by Eduardo Pansica? Sorry.
Pansica.
That too? All right, so Jessica is flexing her Green Lantern muscles where Simon can't and saves the day.
I love that part, by the
So do
way.
I.
She just, like, he's freaking out and losing his shit and just going crazy and, like, he's, like, trying to bust through and his favorite car is what's keeping him in. And,
Yep.
and yeah, she was able to overcome her fear and bust through. It was great. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. We cut to Neil Emerson, who takes his sick brother from the hospital in hopes of saving him himself. As Neil Emerson is this brilliant but discredited scientist, meanwhile, the Green Lantern Corps is discussing that there is another Guardian has been found on Earth. Raimi, who is helping Simon and Jessica. The other Guardians are against bringing Raimi back to John Stewart. He ends up making an executive decision to bring not only Raimi, but Simon and Jessica back. We end the issue with Dr. Polaris picking a fight with our two favorite Earthbound Lanterns, but won't find out anything more until issue number 21, flatline.
Yeah, and like he's about to pick a fight with him, but then his brother flatlines, and so I think they're going to have to work together at this point because he wants to save his brother. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Polaris is one of my favorite Green Lantern villains.
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah, I love. Yeah. Yeah.
Magneto knockoff? Really?
Yeah, he's pretty
I'm
cool.
sorry.
No, he got it from working with magnetic fields.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's right.
He's not a mutant.
He's weird though. I haven't seen him for a while, I guess.
Yeah, not in Rebirth at all.
Yeah. So the book was overall exhilarating. The art was fantastic. Dr. Polaris has been one of my favorite Lantern villains for a while. I really love the panel of the truck going through the window. I also love the panel of Guy saying that he was an energy drink kind of guy.
That was awesome. Yeah, I'm more of an energy drink guy. It's like, yeah, I'll bet you are, guy.
I do have a couple of questions that from this book. So, who were the other two Lanterns in the boardroom talking to Stewart?
It's Isomont and what's his name?
Is the other guy from Earth too?
No, the two guys. They're a Ron Thanagarian partnership.
Yeah,
okay.
One's a lizard that was saved from execution by the Ronians, and the other one is a Ronian trooper, basically.
Okay.
That they got their rings at the same time. They were paired up. They hated each other, and then they were forced to work together. And
Now they're
actually,
buddies.
what happened is it was a really cool storyline. The lizard got his legs cut off in
really?
battle, and no, I'm sorry. The Ronian soldier guy got his legs cut off in I think it was when the not the Eradicator. Who's the guy? Mobius chair.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know who
No,
you're talking about.
what's that?
The Anti-Monitor?
Thank you. Yes, on one of his beams, he shot out an anti-monitor beam. I think it was before Blackest Night, and he got caught in it, and it chopped his legs off.
Cool.
Well, his partner was like, "Oh no, I like you. You're my friend," and he cut his own legs off and sewed them onto his because the lizard guy can regrow his legs.
Oh, cool.
And there was a little love-hate relationship there because he's like, now I can never go back home because everybody on Ron hates Thanagarians, and now I have these Thanagarian
Gotcha.
legs. It's awesome.
That's
I
cool.
like it.
That's a cool
Sorry.
thing. Yeah,
There you go.
No, it's cool.
Yeah. And those two lanterns actually came down to Earth previously
Yeah.
and met
Simon and
and
Jessica,
Jessica. And now I'm really excited because we're going to see the Corps go down to Earth pretty soon.
Yeah.
They're going to intervene because they're like, hey, we need to go down to Earth. John Stewart's like, bring me some good coffee this time, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Ben, when can we start podcasting from space and around Green Table like they did here? Because
I'm
that'd be awesome.
working. I got a watchtower under construction right now, actually.
Get
So,
it?
yep,
Okay, thanks.
we're working
Thanks.
on it.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Just
Cool.
Patience is a virtue.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So, do you think, also another question, do you guys think that the Guardians will know that Rami is actually Volthoom?
No, not yet.
I don't think so.
I think
You
they'll
think
have
they'll-
no way of they aren't telepaths.
Actually, they are.
They are telepaths?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So maybe they will then.
They
And
just
then-
or sorry, I don't think they're telepath with everybody.
Or maybe
they have
they're
they share a
empathic or
link.
something.
Yeah, they share like a link between all of them,
Okay, cool.
or at least they did pre-52.
Nice. Good deal. All right, so Brad, did you rate this one?
I did, holy.
Holy, I tend to agree. Holy.
Agree.
Yep.
Not a lot happened in it, but enough, like, with the setup for the rest of the lanterns and everything. So, yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah,
The art was great.
Coloring was awesome.
Actually,
Yes, it
you know
was,
what?
yeah.
I'm at a blessing on this one, and the reason I'm at a blessing, I thought this was a very strong issue, but I'm still stuck on why did we bring Dr. Polaris in as a whole when Rami was the main conflict, and Dr. Polaris just came out of nowhere. I'm waiting for Sam Humphries to connect that for us.
True.
I need to know why Dr. Polaris just showed up and how he's connected to the current events.
Cool.
And when I think back to the Green Lantern's Rebirth story, Sam Humphries is a great writer. He has a bad habit of maybe starting stuff that he doesn't finish or decides to pick up later, like the Red Dawn stuff. That just kind of dropped off.
Yeah. That's
never
true.
got picked up.
Yeah.
Now we're with Rami. Volthoom inhabited Rami, dropped off, haven't picked it back up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of loose ends he keeps leaving.
It's kind of a neat way. I totally agree with you.
I
Ben.
agree
Don't,
with you,
don't-
too.
Yeah, don't take me wrong, but it's kind of a neat way to. What is it? The magician's secret is have you look at my left hand when my right hand.
Misdirection.
Yeah,
something
that's
over
true.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
misdirection. Thank you. See what I did there?
yeah.
No. it's kind of a neat misdirection thing to do, but in comics, it's kind of hard to remember all that
Yeah.
stuff when you do like 4 or 5
especially
issues.
like you don't have people like us that are just reading every single issue every week. There are some people that are like, hey, I want to read a Green Lantern story. Oh, look, they're starting a new story arc. I'm going to pick this up, and
It's only a half a new story arc.
Yeah.
or there's like they're
Yeah, I get
they're
that.
actually picking things up from like 6 months ago. You know,
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, okay, I
Agreed.
guess, but
Cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
So we
I'm,
get kind of a mix here, blessing and holy.
Yep,
Okay.
sort of. Yeah.
that-
Yep. Brad says
I agree.
holy, I say blessing. Whether it's good or it's great,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah.
on who you
I
ask
mean-
us. All right, so we'll move things along here. What do you got for us, Travis? Fall and Rise?
I've got Fall and Rise. Sorry, I got to turn the page here. The Rise and Fall of Captain Atom #4 by Bates, Wiseman, Conrad, and Nunes. So this is kind of a really interesting issue. I read all of it, but I recapped it really quick, so I apologize if I miss anything. Highlights here. Captain Atom displays the scope of his powers during a television interview by exploding a 100-kiloton nuclear bomb and then absorbing the radiation live on TV, which that was pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
When in Captain Atom, the first version of him exploded back on the first issue. One of his stray blasts, they call it something, but one of his stray blasts hits an inmate that's on death row that's being electrocuted. This causes some kind of weird reaction, encompassing him or encasing him in this like time bubble type thing where he doesn't age, nothing's happened, but he's just locked there. Something's going on. They don't know, so they call Captain Atom. Say basically, hey, you created this mess. You got to come clean it up. So he comes to clean it up by absorbing, just like he did the nuclear radiation. He comes over, tries to absorb it, but in some weird freak accident, this guy kind of like wakes up and starts absorbing his power, and it frees this prisoner, which we find out his name is Max Thrain. Max Thrain absorbs Atom's energy, lets him go. They fight ensues for a couple of pages, which was kind of a neat little fight, and Thrain escapes. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but if anybody knows the Green Lantern villain, Major Force, this guy kind of reminds me of him.
Yeah.
I don't know that character now.
He's basically the mirror opposite of Captain Atom. Read Batman, Superman, World's Finest, pre-52 stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
I know. He's the guy who kills Kyle Reiner's girlfriend and shoves him in the refrigerator.
Oh man,
That's Major Force.
Okay.
So I don't think this is who that is, but it'd be a neat way to bring Force back into it. Fight ensues, Thrain escapes, and we end the issue with the mystery boy who's supposed to be tied to Captain Atom as his son from the past. We find out that the crew of General Ealing and his staff are actually watching the boy and monitoring him to see if there's any kind of superpowers that he has while he sleeps.
Ooh.
Via snow globe.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this?
I'm really confused by it.
Yeah,
I like the art.
I
It was very, very
Weird
wordy.
story.
I'm giving it a blessing just because I'm hooked. I want to find out more, but it wasn't fantastic.
I started it a few times and
I did the same thing.
I didn't read all of it. I didn't get through it I'm sorry. I'm just at the point now where it's like if I read a book and then
gotta
I
grab your
restart it and I still have trouble, I'm not going to put that level of effort into something.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
So correct me in my rating here. I say blessing just because it's decent.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get the next one, but would you? The
What
next
kind of-
rating rung it would be purgatory, but I'm not gonna put it.
Yeah.
What
agree.
kind of reader would you recommend this book for?
A devout reader.
Someone who wants maybe a very cerebral book that you kind of almost novelish where you have
Yes.
to work for it.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not a serial comic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
be.
I mean,
100%.
I know with me with this, I will go through them all, but I start off reading it and then I stop and then I'm going like
Same way.
The
Yeah,
art's
I did.
awesome in it, so you keep on going and you kind of skim the words and then you're like, oh okay,
Yeah.
and then oh yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't really say one way or the other on your rating, but it's something that I'm not typically into right now. But I go to DC Comics maybe for a little more of the mythos and fun stuff, like with Batman, Superman, stuff like that.
You know, I would like to see some of these characters start to intertwine, like Atom and like Green Arrow or something like that. The ones that aren't like, the Justice League.
Yeah.
They need to start putting, some of them together or help,
Yeah, I definitely want to see Green Arrow get out of his Arrowverse a little bit.
Yeah,
that would
too.
be kind of cool.
Well, and I think they're kind of working on it with Black Canary joining, the Justice League of America.
I kind of wish
that might be.
they would,
yeah.
I kind of wish that they'd put, when this is over, Captain Atom into the Justice League. Either the Justice League or Justice League of America. I don't care which one.
Yeah, I
kind of
agree.
probably would be Justice League of America because he's got the ties to the military in this story.
That's true. That's a good, good shot, good call.
Plus, I don't want to give Brian Hitch one more character to juggle. So, sorry, I don't need it. We need to take some away from him. So.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, that's cool. Well, sounds like it was definitely worth your time if you're into that sort of thing. That being said, we are going to play a quick game.
Game time.
Game time.
What are we
And
playing?
actually kind of between our book reviews. So, quick game, who came first? You guys guess?
Okay.
Dr. Polaris or Magneto?
Magneto.
Dr. Polaris.
Wow.
And that, really? Because I know Polaris
By
was like,
3
1960?
Polaris came out in June of 63 and Magneto came out in September of the same year.
What?
Yeah, yep. So, which is funny because, I wanted so bad to say it when you said he's just a rip-off of Magneto. Actually, that's the other way around.
That's cool.
So, obviously, DC did not play their cards right with Dr. Polaris.
Well, yeah, I mean, Magneto's involved with the X-Men. I
Right.
think there's a lot of mythos involved with that in the 90s movies and stuff. So, Black Cat or Catwoman?
Black Cat or Cat?
Black Cat.
I don't know.
Catwoman. Catwoman first appeared in Batman #1 in spring of 1940, while Black Cat wasn't seen until The Amazing Spider-Man 194 in 79. So,
Man,
I don't even know much
don't
about Black
yeah,
Cat.
me
So
either.
Ariel the Oracle wrote these for us. Swamp Man or Man Thing?
Swamp Thing.
Or, I'm sorry, Swamp Thing or Man Thing?
Swamp Thing.
I'm thinking Swamp Thing.
Man Thing, you guys are
Man,
you guys are really batting 1,000. Man Thing by 2 months. Man Thing came out in May of 71, and Swamp Thing came out in July of 71. DC Comics, a lot of them are DC, but this was one of the Marvels that came out first. All right, last one: Green Arrow or Hawkeye?
Green Arrow. I'm going to go Green Arrow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Green Arrow
was early
Green Arrow
40s.
Was first seen in More Fun Comics at number 73 in 1941 November.
Yeah.
Hawkeye appeared in Tales of Suspense number 57 in September of 64. So 20 years later, 23 years later. So that's kind of crazy. I guess
I'm glad I got that one, being the Green Arrow fan.
Yeah, I know, right? It's funny actually. DC Comics, a lot of them their people came first. They were the first comic, the first superhero comics or whatever. So,
quick question: besides that one issue of Superman, has Swamp Thing been seen in Rebirth?
he was seen in DC,
And that was an annual, wasn't it?
That was an
yeah,
annual.
he was seen in DC Universe Rebirth #1 as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep. His Constantine was asking him for help against the Capes, I believe.
Okay.
And Swamp Thing was like, all right, well, I want my wife back or my girl back. And Constantine was like, I can't do that for you. And he's like, well, too bad then. That's the only way I'm going to help you. And that was it. That's all we saw. So
Okay.
We were talking earlier, man, on the Aquaman podcast. I hate to keep going back to Aquaman, but we were saying, I was saying it might be kind of cool to have Aquaman and Swamp Thing team up, because you've got Swamp Thing who rules all the green or all the land, and Aquaman who rules all the sea. So they literally cover the entire planet with what they have power over.
I could see that. I would actually be interested in that.
And the only time that we found that they've been teamed up was they fought in the comics a long time ago, and it was kind of a stalemate. But yeah,
Cool.
So yeah, it might be kind of fun. DC, if you're listening. All right. Anyway, so we are going to move things back to more book reviews, and I'm going to pick things up with Green Arrow number 20. In another conclusion, I had all the conclusions this week, but in another conclusion to...
Are you trying to tell us something?
You concluded.
I concluded.
It's concluded,
Yep.
yeah.
to the Return of Roy Harper issue. We open up with Green Arrow and Roy talking smack to each other while they're trying to take down the Mad Dogs. I really love the smack talk there. They were kind of like, it was just kind of a cute little fun moment or whatever. And the Mad Dogs are helping protect an oil pipeline that's running through an Indian reservation. In the end, those two knuckleheads take down the Mad Dogs with some help from the Black Canary. Scree! The issue is kind of framed up by some flashbacks of Roy and Ollie back in the day when they first met, facing off with Count Vertigo. In the flashback, Roy is totally spiraling out of control with his heroin addiction, and Ollie has told him to basically screw off. You're a screw up. Get out of my life. So Roy is getting wasted, and Count Vertigo shows up and uses his superpowers to make Roy like constantly high. Like he uses his vertigo powers to make Roy constantly feel like he's high, and then help Count Vertigo with his evil plan. The flashback ends with Ollie showing up to save Roy, and Roy saying, basically, screw all this. I'm my own man. I'm going to become my own superhero, and I'm done with you. And that's where we leave off on the flashbacks. So, so this is yet another framing device in this one where we learn. I'm sorry, misread that. There's yet another framing device in this one where we learn that the sheriff that has been helping build the pipeline is also the guy who killed Roy's dad back in the day, which Roy didn't remember this because he was blackout drunk. It just came back to him. Big reveal, and in the end, the sheriff was captured and taken to justice. Honestly, I could have gone a lot more in depth on this one than I did.
Yeah.
It was kind of a dense issue, and it was super long, and there were parts I think that were maybe a little too heavy. Again, I feel like Benjamin Percy is a great writer. I love his work, but he kind of, it seems like he wanted to tie up every loose end in this issue. Seems like he's starting something next time, and he just wanted to literally tie all the story arcs up. So, that's me complaining about something that, it's good rather than great. Percy's been awesome, but he's definitely been kind of like on again, off again for me. The Trans-Pacific Railway issues were ones that I really didn't like very much. But then after that, there were issues I liked a lot. Yeah. The very first issues of DC Rebirth with Green Arrow, they were one of my favorite ones. So,
what was the villain in that one? It was like a group, wasn't it?
The something 9. Level 9 or something like that.
Sorry,
they were kidnapping homeless people. There was a group that was kidnapping home. This is the guy with the weird like triangle mask, like skull mask or whatever.
His name is Isosceles.
But that being said, I didn't even rate this one on my write-up. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'll give this one a blessing, I guess. It was fun. The artwork wasn't as good as last time. Last time Count Vertigo was drawn really cool, and this time it was drawn not as cool. So
I think they try to go more classic.
There was just a different artist on this one, I think. So, Brad, what did you think of this issue?
I'd have to agree with the blessing.
Yeah.
It's a deep book. It's not your fun, whatever.
It could be. It's just there's a lot of stuff in it. Like it's almost like, man, you could have fit all this into 2 comics and it would have been good. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I still, Green Arrow's still one of my favorite in all of Rebirth, and I want them to do more with him.
Yeah. So. Do you think he'll ever get back to the Justice League again?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because like I don't want that to happen because I like him in his own little universe, but I also want him to get his dues of respect because he's a badass. So it's like it's that weird thing where it's
I kind of feel that every time they put him in the Justice League, it's always like he's just a fake Batman. And by keeping him out of the Justice League and keeping him just the street level, like give him that group. Yeah. Right, give him that group. Give him that group that's gonna, help out the Justice League whenever they need it, but give him the freedom to have his own thing.
Yeah,
for sure. I agree with that. So,
so who do you think could go in that? Who else do you think could fit in that besides the people we've already seen?
I think the Birds of Prey would be a really good group of girls to bring into the Green Arrowverse for a team up. Maybe that would be kind of fun. I think the Suicide Squad might even be kind of fun, although they kind of go with the Justice League. They're like at a different level, I think.
Yeah.
Who else? Red Hood and the Outlaws could be
Yeah, that would
one.
be good.
That would be really cool, actually.
Like,
Yeah.
that would be an interesting team up.
Because they're kind of a darker group and
Yeah.
more
Justice
street
League
level
Dark.
outside. Yeah.
Just
With-
like Dark would be
yeah,
cool.
Constantine, see him show up, which he does in the TV show. So
Oh, Swamp Thing. And he'll take the form of a tree, and when Arrow's practicing, he sinks an arrow. He's like, wow, damn, why'd you do that?
Or he keeps
Yeah.
moving so
Sorry.
he misses.
Yeah.
I bet Swamp Thing probably doesn't feel too good about Arrow.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we are going to move things on here.
Oh, wait, we didn't get your...
I didn't read this one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So, but you did read. Actually, why don't we do Nightwing next?
Okay.
Brad.
me.
Nightwing.
All right, Nightwing, number 18. Nightwing Must Die, Part 3, Prisoners of Pig.
Pig.
PYG.
PYG. Yeah. Very good, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
What
That's
is
dirty.
that? Was that old toy you pull the thing and it rotates around and says the pig goes?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Written by Tim Seeley and art by Javier Fernandez and Minkyu Jung.
There we go. Nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
So hot on the trail of rescuing the love and maybe baby mama of Dick Grayson's life, Shang Tsung, not to be confused with Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Anyway,
Yeah. That
Finisher.
Yeah, that
although
was my
he can
ninja.
turn into anybody, so...
Ooh, yeah.
And DC and Marvel are kind of connected there.
Who knows?
Awesome. Anyway, cool.
In a world.
We're Mortal Kombat. Maybe that's what Rebirth is going to, the Outworld, to do
the
a Mortal
Outworld,
Kombat
Mortal
tournament.
Kombat, yep.
Right.
There you go.
All right, cool. Nightwing and Robin interrogate Deathwing, a Dollatron that Professor Pig had made. Nightwing, Robin, and the Robintron go into the final battle with Professor Pig. Deathwing ends up choking the life out of the Robintron. Robin goes after Deathwing on his own, but Deathwing defeats him and takes him to Dr. Simon Hurt. Dr. Hurt.
Cool.
Doctor Hurt? Hurty
Yeah,
Doctor?
That's a pun all in itself.
Little kid, like, Mom, I don't want to see Dr. Hurt. It never goes well.
Yeah, so this is a very quick read, good quick read. I think that all aspects of the book was good, but not great. The story has been okay, the best part being Nightwing and Robin. Tim Seeley really does a good job of making them more of brothers than hero sidekick. I would love for Nightwing to get a sidekick of his own sometime in the future. I do have a couple questions after reading this. Okay, actually, a question that I went on and found some information. So Simon Hurt. Does anybody know anything about Dr. Hurt? Dr. Simon Hurt? So this is actually pretty interesting. Dr. Hurt is the immortal ancestor of Thomas Wayne.
Huh?
Yes, he's an immortal ancestor of Thomas Wayne. And I found it interesting that they say Thomas Wayne and not Bruce Wayne, because it would be one and the same. But, yeah, so wrap your heads around that. Maybe he's going to play a bigger part
What's the
because
point of
Thomas
that?
Wayne is coming into Rebirth. So,
Huh. He is?
Yeah.
yeah, the Batmans are going to meet Batman and
Oh,
Dad.
yeah,
Flashpoint?
that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I rated this as a blessing.
Cool. I didn't read this one. Did you, Travis?
Nope, I didn't either.
Okay.
I'm ready for them to move on.
Yeah,
Nightwing needs to move on. If I'm okay if they keep the relationship with Sean going or whatever. I don't know. Doesn't to me, but I would like to see more Nightwing and Robin. Those two are awesome together.
So I got to ask you a question. You said you'd like to see Nightwing have a protege or a sidekick.
I think so.
Let's just wildly speculate. Who would be his sidekick? I mean, what would you call a Nightwing
It would have to be a
sidekick?
new, like, I think it would need to be a new character.
I think
Yeah.
it would too. I mean, they couldn't
Yeah.
do Robin.
Yeah, no, of course, but
But
Oh, I
although
don't
if he
know.
did take on a Robin, then it would almost be like a full circle. I mean, not only he's gotten into the mentorship of a Robin, but I mean,
Do you think he'd take on like Duke or something like that, since Duke's a side character? Or maybe even Gotham Girl if she gets healed
I
up?
think Gotham Girl could be.
Gotham, that would be even pretty cool.
He could take on one of the
He'd
Teen
probably get
Titans.
romantically involved with her.
Yeah. It would need to be a guy.
Yeah.
I think he could take one of the Teen Titans, probably. Like Beast Boy could be his apprentice, or I think it would almost need to be someone who doesn't have superpowers, though, or who has very limited superpowers. So I don't know. I really think it would need to be a new character, because every other non-superpowered Batman-esque character is kind of taken. Roy Harper. A young Roy Harper could have been in another world. He could have been Nightwing.
In another world.
Yeah, in a world. So yeah, in another world though, Roy Harper could have gone to Nightwing.
I think it'd be neat, like a young Zatara, not Santana.
That would be
Zatara.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
I could get behind that.
That'd
Yeah,
be
I could
a
too.
little magic, but not.
Has she
Not a
showed
ton.
up yet? Is she in Justice League Dark? at all?
Zatanna?
Yeah.
There is
I don't
no
know about
Justice
her.
League Dark right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zatara was her father,
Right,
who was
yeah,
Dr.
Zatanna.
Fate, or was Dr. Fate. I don't know. If
Not
he still
very.
is,
Like he wasn't
but-
there. That wasn't
Yeah.
Fate for long though.
But
was he?
somebody magic power based.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe too.
yeah.
So-
I haven't read any of the Constantine stuff.
I mean,
so-
honestly, I guess you could always go back to Huntress, and then they could almost do like a repeat of Grayson.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Spyro.
Could
But
be.
okay, cool.
Good
Anyway,
deal. Did you read it?
Blessing.
Blessing.
Yeah,
Cool.
go. It's good enough.
Good deal. All right, and last but not least, we'll move on to Justice League. Well, maybe last but least. I don't know. We'll see what Travis thinks.
So, Justice League number 18, Timeless. Full admission of guilt here. I have not really been following along, other than just listening to everybody else's reviews. So, I
don't know
actually
who-
read this one this week.
I don't know who has been following.
yeah, it's so hard.
I don't know a person that reads it.
I am so confused with the Justice League across time, different point. I don't know.
At
But-
least they all got to where they would want to go.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's like,
Like-
how did that all? Well, but so we have Tempest at the beginning of the issue abducting John and Lois. In the little tiny caption thing, it says "See Superman" or Action Comics, whatever the last Reborn was. Basically, it was saying they know what happened in the last issue. Now their storylines are cohesive. This is, the group. So that's how I took it, at least. So Tempest abducts John and Lois, and then floods the compartment of his ship with red solar radiation to depower Superman, a very ticked off Superman, and then sends his little drone people out after him. They're called collectors, right?
Yeah.
I think they're called collectors.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
too. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm going to call them Super Bats because Batman is in the Lex Luthor armor.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that I actually did
So
like
did
that.
I.
Yeah.
Put a bat symbol on there, and I'm game.
And he's with a gal, and I think her name is Alexis. I wrote it down that way. It's Luthor's daughter.
Yeah, Alexis.
Okay.
Yeah, Alexis board the ship and break a chunk of it off and send it straight through Tempest's main hull. This letting the light in, so a Superman that's pissed off at the bottom of a giant collector pile tears his way out and can enact all kinds of pain on Tempest and this ship that's hovering over Earth. Meanwhile, Tempest's henchmen start just all of a sudden falling across time. So we've got Wonder Woman, and she's with another person. I don't know who it is. You've got Cyborg, who's in another timeline. You've got Flash that's in another timeline. Aqua, all across time. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're trying to get to the center of the ship to place these little temporal disruptors, is what I'm going to call it. It looks more like an eye or a smartwatch on this crystal thing. Like I said, I don't know. Really confusing. Anyways, they're fighting their way through these henchmen, and they just start falling. So they're like, okay, I'm going to run over and put my smartwatch on it. They run over, they put it on, and it disrupts the power throughout time to Tempest. And really what it does is channels or funnels it to the lady named Molly. Molly rises to the challenge of saving Earth by removing all the superheroes and super villains. Basically, she's an idealist that wants to save Earth, and she got the Justice League to do her dirty work or the heavy lifting, and now she's got all the power of Tempest, and she's going to it kind of felt like to me an epic rewrite button she's gonna push and start like Rebirth over.
Yeah.
I was like, why? How? It's too confusing. I'm moving this off my plate. I'm giving it a... I don't know. What should I give it? Should I give it?
Purgatory.
I
I rated
know,
it
man.
Purgatory.
Yeah, I'd say this has been in purgatory for me
Yeah,
since
that's
day one.
yeah.
I mean, like,
that's what I agree.
the artwork is what keeps it out of Blasphemy because
True.
it's like,
Very true.
to me, Blasphemy has to be like I guess at some
The
point
story just wasn't
at
there
some
for
point
me.
you
It
put
was too
pen to
confusing.
paper.
Mentally check out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still
It was kind of like Captain Adam, where it was so heavy,
Yeah.
but it's just instead of just being text heavy, it was confusing storyline.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like I don't know what's going on here, and I
Yeah.
moved it off. And I'm gonna say Purgatory, like you guys said.
Yeah.
So
I
that is my rating.
would like a really good Justice League.
Yeah, well, yeah, who wouldn't, man? I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love some really good chocolate cake, too, you know? I mean, I also don't want
People in
crappy...
hell want ice water.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all want a good Justice League.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
all want some good chocolate cake.
Yeah. All right, so, yeah, I tend to agree, though, man. It's been in purgatory for me for a while. There's just not... I don't know, man. I don't even want to waste any more time talking about it, because I mean, it makes me upset.
Yeah.
You know, just... It upset... It literally, like, the fact that it's been allowed to go on this long is just like, why have they not made a change up yet? I don't know, because it's not just me. Like, everyone across the board is saying, like, this is just a bad story.
Right, but then when you like look at things online, everybody is saying how Justice League is one of the best things that come out of Rebirth. And it's crazy.
Really?
This
I've
is
read-
probably like a month or so ago that I read something that it was in the top 5 of Rebirth, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well,
what I've
a month
read
ago
online.
would have been Suicide Squad, the tail end
Oh,
of the
that could
Suicide
have
Squad.
been.
Yeah.
That could have been.
Run.
I was going to say, what I've read online,
Yeah.
it's
And it could
gotten
have been
really
more-
bad reviews. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that must be it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
So, yeah, that's all the books we have this week. Does anyone else have anything? I mean, I've been catching up on the CW-verse stuff. I caught up on Flash. I'm almost caught up on Arrow. I love both, but I love the Flash more.
Okay, what
Do
about
you really like the Arrow?
I do.
This season's a little confusing. I gotta
I think like the fight choreography and stuff has gotten a lot better. There was
Yeah.
a scene where he like latched onto a helicopter and sort of like like
Oh yeah.
you know, like so there's been some cool fight choreography in this.
Well,
in this one.
and one cool thing that Arrow's done is like, so when they introduced the DA, Adrian Chase,
Yep.
they introduced the Vigilante at the same time, which in the comics, the Vigilante is Adrian Chase. So everybody just figured that the Vigilante was the DA.
Yeah.
And well, spoiler, the Vigilante, or not, Adrian Chase is Prometheus, not the Vigilante. And so that's awesome, I think. So now you know who is this guy that wants to kill, you know, I don't know if he necessarily wants to kill Arrow. He doesn't have all the information,
Right.
but
So
I like that.
I'm a little behind on Arrow. I'm probably 3 weeks behind, but I watch Arrow, I watch The Flash, and I watch Supergirl. We used to watch Legends, but it got so far out there
Dude,
that I haven't
season
watched
2.
it.
Did you watch any of season 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, because I watched the season finale.
I watched up till what's the new guy that's on there? He turns all
that's
metal.
Literally the
Steel.
Yeah,
Not
Citizen.
Yeah,
it's
he goes by Steel.
It's Citizen Steel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And he's an old
Yeah.
character too. There's
Yeah.
3 of him actually
Yeah.
from the comics, and his grandfather was in there too. But
yeah.
the other thing, what was it? I just caught it because I think we were sitting at the hospital or something, but I was flipping through and I saw a section of last week's Legends, and it had Thawne in it, the Reverse Flash,
Yeah.
and he like runs up and he jabs his hand in Adam's chest and rips his heart out. I was like, holy crap,
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch these
Yeah.
things
yeah,
recorded.
So the season finale.
Spoiler, bye.
Yeah. Well.
Do you guys want me to spoil it for you, or do you care?
Go for it.
Yeah. I don't
Man,
care.
so the Legion of Doom takes the Spear of Destiny and rewrites history. So the Legends gets it, and then they try to fix it all. But so then when they go back to 2017 in Los Angeles, there's a bunch of dinosaurs around. So I guess Commodity might be showing up.
Well, that could be cool, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so
Yeah,
they're
it's
they're
just one of those
it's-
weird out there.
Yeah. Legends is out there, and like season 1, I had to like really like make myself go through.
Yeah.
But season 2 has been okay.
Good deal.
It's not one of those that I like hurry to watch, but
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, next week on NCR, we are going to start splitting things up. So we have 2 weekly shows that we're going to be doing now. First weekly show is going to be what you know to be DC Mass. And the second weekly show is going to be Weekly Communion. And that is going to be a show where we cover the monthly titles. So this show will be mainly bi-weekly titles, mainly bi-weekly. We're going to trade off a little bit. Second weekly show is going to be me, Noah, and Ariel, and we're going to be covering monthlies. There are some trade-offs there, because, like, Wonder Woman, I think that should be on Noah's show. The new Batman miniseries, that should be on this show, even though it's only monthly. You know, it's like, so, yeah, giving people books that they like. So next week on NCR, we have Action Comics, Detective Comics, Flash, Hal Jordan and the GLC, JLA, Suicide Squad, Titans, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, New Superman, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman.
Awesome.
Lots of books next week. So that's all I got for you guys. If you want to reach me anywhere, I'm on Twitter at IndieComicBen, or I am everywhere else at Nerd Church Radio. Where can we find you, Brad?
I'm on Twitter, Bradley, BRADLEY _Butin, BUTIN.
And Travis.
I am on Twitter as well. I'm at TritonTR, TRITONTR.
All right, and with that, I will say peace be with you.
And also with you.
Peace out, planet Earth.
Later.